Thanks, everybody. Once again, I have about 45 minutes with you today, so I got to make it short and sweet. And typically I have a couple hours to really cover everything. And so because of the limited time that we have, I am going to maybe hopefully I don't talk too fast, but we have a lot of information to cover. And with that being said, let's get right into things. First thing I want to find out: can everybody just please do me a favor? Type in a Y for yes or the word me if you are currently trading the Forex market, you have an interest in the Forex market. I just want to get have an idea. I know there's a lot of traders in here that trade all types of markets. So if you're saying no, it's no problem. But we have a lot of you that are saying yes. The majority of you, about 85% of you so far, are saying yes. So okay, good. I just want to kind of get an idea. I appreciate that. Now I get to start off by letting you all know that trading does have its own form of risk involved. So you should never invest money that you cannot afford to lose, and you always want to trade with equity management in mind. There is no such thing as an undefeated season. You may incur losses from time to time, but the key is to keep your profits high and have minimal losses. Once again, we'll talk a little bit about that when we do get to the live market. Now, a little bit about myself real quickly, just to kind of let all of you know, I've been coaching and mentoring people for the last 7 years, and that's really what I love doing, because one of the things that hopefully I can relate with a lot of you in here is, I know we have a lot of people in the room that are maybe very experienced traders. We have a lot of you that are maybe just kind of intermediate. Maybe you're kind of getting your feet wet. Maybe you have a demo account. And there's a lot of you that maybe haven't even opened up a demo account. You're fairly new. And the beautiful thing about this market is that as soon as you decide to put your mind to it and decide that you want to learn the market, I call it, it's an everybody's market, And so with that being said, I did go to University of Central Florida. I got accepted into several law schools. My choice was University of Miami School of Law. I love the surf and the weather and all that, but it is a good school as well. But for the past, coming up on 2 years now is how long I've been coaching and mentoring people on how to successfully trade this market. I have mastered both the Forex and the options market, and it's one of my passions. Now, a lot of times people ask me, why did you did all that, right? But why are you trading the market? And I'll be very straight with you and tell you that, I was in my 20s and I looked good, smelled good, but I was broke. I was struggling financially. Just things didn't really add up to me. And like I said, I'm an avid surfer. I love to travel and surf. I used to compete. And my buddy, we go on some trips every year. And I remember one trip he invited me on. I went, but I couldn't really afford it. And that's, when it kind of boggled my mind as far as this just doesn't add up. And so that's ultimately how I was introduced to the market. Never even thought I would trade it growing up, ever. But how many of you can relate with me? As far as you're just in a boat, you're in the position you're supposed to do, as far as you're concerned, you're to the point where, whatever your goals are, get out of debt, retire, but it's got to be personal to you, of course. Now, real quickly, I just want to kind of fill you all in on who we are and what we do. So we are MTI, and it stands for Market Traders Institute, and it's an education company. They are the first and the oldest Forex trading institute on the planet. They have been basically in existence since April of 1994. So next month will actually be our 22-year anniversary, which is pretty awesome. It says Lake Mary, Florida, but we're basically located in Orlando, Florida, about 10 minutes from Disney World. Many of you are familiar with the area. Now, we have, like I said, 22 years, approaching 22 years we've been around, right? Over 30,000 clients and students, and that's longevity. We are not a fan of gimmicks whatsoever. They call me this, to-the-point trader for good reason. But if you take a look at just, some of the details as far as what we've been able to accomplish, we are recognized year after year as far as being one of the top companies to work for, as well as, how many of you are, I don't know if any of you kind of look at stats or look at kind of broker information, but if you might be aware of this, maybe you're not, but I don't know if you've ever read this, but the average Forex trader claims that they're only about 33% profitable, okay? That's fairly dismal if you ask me, and I didn't make this up. This is from data collected every quarter by brokers via a survey. Well, MTI did the same exact thing, except for all of our students, and the difference is that MTI students are 85% more likely to profit than the average trader out there. And once again, the proof is in the numbers. And the reason I really cover this stuff, folks, is because I think it's very important for you to understand not only just, because a lot of times people say, come on, man, get straight to the charts, let's go, show us strategy, but you also have to understand that it's very important to kind of understand and know the foundation that it lies upon. Now, I want to introduce all of you to one of my buddies, a gentleman by the name of Joshua Martinez. He is known around the globe as the FX Pathfinder. That's his call name, if you will. And basically, I want you to know that not only does MTI have some of the absolute best strategies, but they also have some of the absolute best expert Forex instructors and analysts in the Forex industry. The reason I want to bring Josh up right now is because one of the things that he's done is he's been able to teach me a strategy, a method. He's one of my personal coaches, And basically, this strategy is going to enable us and allow us to take advantage of the market early in the morning, but you're able to see some pretty incredible returns because, once again, I don't want to get too much into the market yet without pulling up the charts, but I'm going to explain a few things to you because a lot of people just kind of overthink the market. I mean, I truly believe that. Now, he is one of MTI's product experts. He's trained thousands of Forex investors. He's turned an initial deposit investment of $500 and generated over $39,000 of profit. I've made thousands of Forex investments, published author, international speaker, pro analyst, and a full-time trader. And if you're wondering, why the heck am I telling you about Josh? It's because, once again, he's created a strategy that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And the strategy, to give you an idea, has really been able to allow him and myself to do some pretty unbelievable things. Now, for example, if you take a look at the screen here, back in June 5th, 2011, he opened up a trading account, all right, with just $500 US. And what this gave him the ability to do was to trade with what you call a micro position. Now, when he first started trading, maybe like many of you, he was only making around $2 to $5 per trade and losing $2 to $5 per trade, right? We call it a yo-yo account. But when he started going through the education that MTI offers, he started noticing patterns in the market. And if we fast forward, you'll see that he was able to take time compounding, build residual type income. And of course, when he was able to deposit money along the way, he absolutely did, right? And so once again, if you kind of look what happened, he stuck with it, okay? He didn't give up. And what it ultimately taught him how to do was how to reinvest his money, okay? And basically what happens is, when you are able to trade a larger lot size, right, your returns are going to be even higher. And so once again, this allowed him to see daily returns of up to $4,000, $5,000 per day in profits. And what's funny is it's crazy because he was withdrawing $10,000 at a time, and it used to take him 6 months, working 5.5 days a week as a personal trader to make that. But once again, he's even had days where he's made $7,000. Now, a reason I'm bringing this up is because I want to ask all of you right now, type in a Y for yes, please, in the chat box. If you would, be ecstatic if you got to a point where you were able to start seeing this type of profit, because obviously I'm not showing you an account where, boom, it's just big numbers. I literally want you to see how the average trader, typically how it fluctuates, right? This is what mine looks like as well. But if you take a look at the track record, which is the last thing I want to show you before I pull up the charts next, which is third-party verified, you'll see that he has a gain of 4,548% return on his initial deposit investment. Now, if you take a look at the bottom, you'll notice the graph of his growth, right? It's pretty dramatic, but it shows that he was making money, losing money, making money, losing money, but all of a sudden, things absolutely took off. And this is what we like to personally call a tipping point. And what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to show you the exact strategy that, once again, that's been able to assist Josh and myself in finding our tipping points to assist you in finding your tipping points faster. So let me go ahead and pull up the charts. And if everybody can please be so kind to type in a Y for yes when you see the charts up on your screen. I'm going to grab a sip of water, so I may go silent for just a moment. All right. Thank you, Gary, Roger, Ron, Michael, Peter, Ernest, Jennifer, Denise, Chris, Paul, Lewis, and everybody else. Hey, Lewis, this is our ultimate charting software. It's proprietary to us here at MTI. But once again, for those of you in the room that would like the ability to use it, have it, trade with it, once again, we're doing some pretty incredible things. Put it this way, I'm not, I don't want to talk about it right now, okay? But I will just kind of get it out of the way and let you all know that if you like what you see today, we're going to literally allow you to take advantage of a lot of pretty incredible things and basically mimic our professional traders, live sessions, all that good stuff for literally less than what it costs to go to lunch. Okay, so we'll talk about that later. But first thing I want to go ahead and get into is I'd like for all of you to write down these 6 currency pairs that you see up on the screen. Now you'll notice these are all pound crosses. Okay, we have the let's start with the first one. We have the pound Aussie, we have the pound Japanese yen, we have the pound Canadian, the pound New Zealand, the pound Swiss franc, and the pound US dollar. Now, when you look at this, folks, the reason I want you all to write these down is because these are the 6 currency pairs that we're going to be using, which obviously I said it before, I'll say it again, are all pound crosses. They're all on a 1-hour time frame. You'll see why we focus in on a 1-hour time frame as well. But these are the ones that we're going to be using with this specific strategy. A lot of you are going to ask me, can we use the same exact strategy with other, with other currencies? You could if you want to, but there's a reason why we use this specific strategy with the Great British Pound. Okay, it has to do with markets and when banks open and why it does what it does. So once again, if I have some time before I wrap things up, I'll kind of maybe give you some ideas as far as why all that happens. But what I want to do right now is let's just go ahead and pull up, let's just go with the pound US. All right, so I'm going to actually, you know what, let's go with the pound New Zealand. How's that? Okay, so here's the pound New Zealand. I'm going to open this up. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to just kind of give everybody in this room a little bit of a just kind of lesson, if you will, on how the market moves, what we're looking at, and what we can really expect the market to do. And the first thing I want all of you to understand is that if you take a look at the top left-hand side of the screen, you'll notice that this obviously is the pound New Zealand. Next to that, you notice 1 hour. That is the time frame that we are using. Now, when you trade this market, folks, your number one goal, okay, is to obviously what? Make money. Now, how do you make money in this market? The way you make money in this market is by doing something called capturing pips. Okay, so write that down if you're taking notes. That's the absolute number one thing that you want to be able to do is capture pips. And PIP is an acronym which stands for price, interest, point. Now, with that being said, like I said, your goal is to capture pips. Now, if you look at the market and you look at how it moves, you'll notice that the market obviously moves in a wave-like pattern, right? Where the market's going to form lows, the market's going to form highs, it's going to go low, it's going to go up. It's going to do this over and over and over again. And your number one goal as an investor is to be able to identify these moves, all right, take advantage of them, and have them go in your favor. Now, in this market, you can obviously make money when the market's going up. You can make money when the market's going down. And it's really just kind of what the market's doing. Now, when you look at this, folks, and you say, man, you know, what's your number one goal? It's to be able to anticipate where the market's going to go next, right? Is that safe to say? So once again, when you look at live market, that's the number one thing that you want to be able to ask yourself and figure out is where is the market going to go next? Now, the beautiful thing about this, folks, is that this market, all right, has a very, very high percentage likelihood chance of doing the same thing, usually during the same time frames, usually during the same areas, and usually, literally during the same, trends. And so I tell you that, or I was going to say time frames, okay? So once again, the thing about the Forex market that I personally love is that you really have a 50-50 chance of being right or being wrong just by simply guessing. So once again, if you just, out of the blue, 50-50 shot, take a guess, buy or sell, you have a 50-50 shot at being right or being wrong just by simply guessing. No, I'm not endorsing you to gamble or guess the market. All right, there's ways to, make it very, very predictable. However, the reason I tell you that is because how many of you agree with me that if you add a decent strategy to the mix, do the percentages fall highly in your favor? Yes or no? Absolutely, right? Now, next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and just kind of cover some of the basics here. And what I want to do is I want to just go ahead and get into some basic fundamental strategy. So I'm going to explain the strategy to you, okay? However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on a blank part of the screen so it's a little bit easier to understand, and then we will obviously, apply it to the market, all right? So first thing I want to do is I want you all to, let me go ahead and just drop this a little bit. All right, so first thing I want you all to do, especially for those of you taking notes, is I want you to understand that the market, all right, is going to form things known as highs and lows. Now, the market will typically form, okay, a main high and or low 2 times a day. Now, the first high or low of the day, okay, this is going to basically form typically between the hours of 2 a.m., and I'm going to go with Eastern time, okay, 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. Now, the second high or low of the market, all right, how many of you could take a guess? What do you think that time is? Okay, that's going to be between 8 a.m. Eastern time and 2 p.m. Eastern time. Now, type in a Y for yes if you agree with me. If you believe that the first high or low of the day between 2 and 5, do you believe that's going to be much, much easier to find than the second high or low of the day because you have a 4-hour gap opposed to, right? Or about a 2-3 hour gap opposed to about a 6-hour gap, right? So that's what we're going to do is we're going to focus in. Okay, I'm just going to put here high or low, and I'll do the same thing right here, high or low. Now, what we want to do, folks, is we're going to focus in, like I said before, we're going to focus in on the first high or low of the day between 2 and 5 a.m. Now, one of the things that I want you to write down and understand is that we're going to be focusing in on the 3 a.m. candle specifically, okay? So once again, yes, it's at 2 a.m., right? That's when it starts. However, what you want to do is we're going to want to give the market a little bit of time to kind of fluctuate and do what it needs to do, right? And then this is the candle we're going to actually look at regarding our strategy at hand. Now, the next thing I want to go ahead and kind of get into and explain to you is that in this market, folks, there's something known as average daily trading range. So if you're taking notes, write that down, average daily trading range. And that can typically, fluctuate anywhere between 50 pips, okay? And I'll go ahead and type out 200 pips. So once again, that's the average daily trading range. That's how many pips you can expect the market to move on average in any given day. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to focus in on our strategy, folks. We can go after more than 50 pips. However, at a minimum, we're going to be going after 50 pips. Okay. So once again, we could be going after more, but at the least, we're going to be going after 50 pips minimum. Okay. Now, the next thing, like I said before, is our number one goal is to what? Is to capture pips. Okay. Price, interest, point. Now, your ROI, your investment, okay, that will basically be dependent upon what lot size you're trading. So in the Forex market, there are 3 major lot sizes, okay, traded in the Forex market. Like I said before, depending on your investment, that will determine what your ROI will be, what your profit will be. So with that, let's talk about the very, very basic, smallest lot size you can trade. This is known as a micro lot. A micro lot is a $20 investment, and 1 pip is worth 10 cents. Okay. Now the second lot size, this is known as a mini lot. A mini lot is a $200 investment, and 1 pip is worth $1. And then finally, you have the largest lot size. This is known as a standard lot. A standard lot is a $2,000 investment, and 1 pip is going to be worth $10. Okay. Now, here's the beautiful thing about this market. This is why anybody at any, no matter where you're at in life, this is why you're able to trade. The fact that you can get involved with a micro lot, which, by the way, don't be upset, if you have to start there. There's no shame in that. The market decides that. I started there, believe it or not, and so did Josh, and so did a lot of other people that are at, trading standard lots now that are making a lot of money doing this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using a standard lot as the example as we do move along. So for instance, if I tell you that we captured, 50 pips, and I equate that to $500 US profit, that is why I'm doing that, because I'm using standard lot as the example. I like to teach with the end goal in mind. And also understand, folks, that what I'm not going to do because of time is I'm not going to get into the details as far as, broker fees, spreads, and all that, margins. That's something that's really going to be between you and the broker. So just to kind of, let you know, because all the time I get people that say, well, no, you really wouldn't make that because, the broker takes this. I understand, Now, next thing is this. The beautiful thing about this market is, and I want you to write this down, it's called leverage. All right, leverage in simple terms, in lay terms, it means buying power. Okay, now here in the U.S., for example, we trade with a 50-to-1 leverage. So with that being said, what does that mean? If we're trading a mini lot, okay, say we're trading a mini lot controls $10,000 worth of currency because of the leverage. Okay, a standard lot controls $100,000 of currency. And also, what I want you to know, 2 things, is that anybody can take advantage of this leverage. Okay, it's a lot of people think, oh my gosh, do I have to take a loan out of the bank, from the bank? Do I have to have good credit? No. All right, it's everybody can do this. Okay, that's the best thing about it. And also, another thing is that your risk is defined. You have upfront defined risk. So, for instance, a lot of people have a fear of losing money, right? I think it's just a natural fear. But understand that you can never lose more than your initial investment, because the broker will allow you to use leverage. However, the minute you lose your money and begin to infringe upon theirs, which you won't even be able to do that, they're just going to simply close you out of the trade, okay? So let's get into this, folks. Let's apply this to the actual market. And what I want to do is I want to just go ahead and recap. We're going to be focusing on the first higher low of the day between 2 and 5 a.m., which means we're going to focus in on the 3 a.m. candle. We're going to be going after a minimum of 50 pips. Could be more, but it won't be less, okay? And we're going to be utilizing a standard lot as the example, okay? So let me get a Y for yes, or type in the word me, please, if you're with me. Good to go. Make sense? All right, good deal. Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for the confirmation. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, everyone. I'm going to delete this, all right? And let's go and let me show you a couple things. So first thing I want all of you to take a look at is what I'm going to do is actually I want to increase my bars of memory, but let me just do one thing. I'm going to actually come back to that, but let me just I'm looking for, like, just a different trend, just in general. Clean. Okay, here's a really clean, nice looking trend. So if you take a look at this downtrend, folks, and once again, let me go ahead and let me go to settings, and I just updated my software. So, all right, I'm going to increase that to 5,000 bars of memory. All right, now, okay, so when we look at this, folks, okay, I want to go ahead and back the market up and kind of give you an example of something. As I back this up, first thing I want all of you to take a look at is you'll notice the market's obviously in a downtrend, right? Now, if I go ahead and back this up a little bit more, here's what I want everybody to take a look at. Now, for instance, let's start right here. Does everybody see this dark blue candle right here? All right, let me go ahead and light that up. Okay, does everyone see this candle right here that's lit up? Do you notice how it says 3 a.m.? Everybody see that? Okay, it says 3 a.m. Well, once again, do you notice how the market creates it creates like a directional push down towards the north, all right, at 3 a.m.? Everybody see that? So once again, 3 a.m. candle, and the market heads down, all right? Now, here's the next thing that I want everybody to take a look at. By me explaining that to you, I want to go ahead and just grab my ruler tool, which is how we measure pips. Now, I want you all to take a look at the top left-hand side of your screen. All right, take a look at the top right, left-hand side of your screen. Do you notice how 4 lines of information appears? Does everybody see that? All right, now can everybody, once again, top left-hand side, take a look at the third line down where it says range with pips in parentheses? Okay. Can anybody tell me real quickly what's the number that you see? Just type in a number. You should be typing in 185. So I keep moving my mouse there. Does everybody see where I'm getting 185 from? All right, so the first line is the daytime price you got in. Second line is the daytime price you got out. The third line is how many pips you captured, and it says how many bars. So if we're on a 1 hour time frame, it took 5 hours, okay? So once again, do you see how much the market can move in a very, very short amount of time? And once again, I mean, 185 pips at a standard lot, okay, without getting into the details, can equate to $1,850 US profit. Now, if I keep going, I could literally pinpoint every 3 a.m. candle and just kind of show you how this works over and over and over again, okay? But anyways, let me just show you one more here. If you take a look at this candle, once again, all right, this right here is a 3 a.m. candle, all right there. And does everybody notice how the market, once again, okay, creates a directional push right there up towards the north, all right? So once again, I could sit here and show you example after example after example, but I think y'all get the picture. So with that, let's go ahead and let's bring it forward, and let's just go ahead and get into the actual strategy at hand. So let me kind of bring it more current. All right, I don't want to start so far back. All right, so let's just kind of start. All right, let's just go with, and by the way, this is the pound Canadian. I told you I want to go with the pound New Zealand. I'll bring this back, by the way. Whichever ones y'all want to see, just let me know. Let me look at the time here. Okay. Hey, Travis, can you just confirm for me, buddy? Do I have what time I have until, just to confirm, so I know when to basically start moving on? All right. Thanks, bud. I appreciate that. So if you just give me a heads up when I have about a 10-minute warning. Hey, George, yeah, buddy, this is a 3 a.m. This is the 3 a.m. candle, okay? All right, so backing this up, let's go ahead and go to, all right, and I'm just going to back this up a little bit more here. All right, let's just start right here. Now, type in a Y for yes if everybody does in fact see and agree that we are on the 3 a.m. candle. Everybody see that? 3 a.m. Now, first thing I want you all to do, once the 3 a.m. candle appears, all right, once again, that's the candle we're going to be focusing on. What we're going to do is we're going to do 2 things right out of the gate. First thing is we're going to do is we're going to place what we call an entry buy. Okay, it's not a market buy, it's a pending order. Okay, it's not an actual order, but we're going to place that of the high. All right, so if you're taking notes, I definitely want you to write that down. So the entry buy is going to be plus, let me type this out for you. All right, I won't type this out every single time. I just want to do it first time so everyone's kind of with me. So the entry buy is plus 10 pips, all right, above the 3 a.m. high. Okay, candle wick high, by the way. All right, not the close of the candle, but the candle wick. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to place an entry sell, and we're going to place that. All right, same thing, basically same thing as the first one, except the entry sell is going to be, okay, minus 5 pips below instead of 10. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab that. We're going to place this, once again, minus 5 pips below the 3 a.m. wick low, and let's drop that down 5 pips, and that's going to bring us right there. So once again, we have an entry buy, and now we have an entry sell. Now, a lot of you are going to ask me, do we do this every single time? And the answer is yes. Okay, it's going to be just like this every single time, minus 5 pips below the 3 a.m. wick low. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to advance the market forward, because listen, we are not actually in the market yet. This is our pending orders. What we want to do is we want to wait for the market to take its course, And the moment the market, how do we know to buy or sell? Once the market crosses into either our entry buy or entry sell zone, that is what will basically determine if we're going to buy or sell. Now, as I advance the market forward, can everyone type in a Y for yes if you see and agree how the market did in fact advance forward and did it cross into the entry sell zone, yes or no? Yeah, everybody see that? Now, once it does that, that's going to basically trigger us to go, okay, I want to sell the market. So watch this. The moment that happens, we identify we're going to sell the market. First thing I'm going to do, okay, is I want to go ahead and we're going to, okay, it's no longer relevant. Now, our entry sell, okay, our entry sell is now going to turn into a market sell, all right, officially. Now, what we're going to do next is we want to basically ask ourselves, how many pips do we want to go after, right? And what is my risk? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and measure, okay, we're going to measure how many pips are we trying to make. So what do we need to do? We need to measure our risk. So what we're going to do, by the way, before we measure how many pips we're going after, you're going to set your stop. Now, how do you set your stop? Well, if we're looking to sell the market, we are going to place our stop plus 5 pips above the 3 a.m. wick high. Okay, so once we bring that up 5 pips, which is going to bring us to right here, I'm going to go ahead and change this to red. And by the way, if you don't know what a stop is, understand that a stop is really designed to protect you. So if you want to, if you buy the market and it goes in the opposite direction, it'll stop you out to protect you. Same thing with the opposite direction. So once again, a stop is going to be, as I mentioned, plus 5 pips above the high. All right, so is everybody with me so far? Let me get a Y for yes if everyone's with me so far. Is it making sense? Are you with me? All right, good deal, good stuff. Awesome. All right, next thing I'm going to do, ready? Once we do that, we're going to go ahead and measure. Okay, we're going to calculate how many pips are we risking. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my ruler tool, and we're going to measure from our market sell, okay, to our stop. How many of you can tell me how many pips are we risking? Top left-hand side. How many of you can give me a number there? Okay, 75, right? So we are going after 75 pips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to measure 75 pips, and that's going to bring us, from right here, and that's going to bring us to about 2.09361. Okay, 09361. So let's place that right there. All right, so right about there, okay? Now, this right here is going to be our target, right? So once we identify everything, all right, we are now in the market buying, or sorry, we're in the market selling. Okay, our stop is 5 pips above. We are now going to continue to live our life, do our thing until the market takes its course. Now, question, did the market advance forward? Did the market continue to move? And did the market fulfill our target, yes or no? All right, now here's what I want all of you to understand. As a lot of you are probably wondering, well, my gosh, based on that, how do you know to go after 75 pips? Well, once again, folks, what I want you all to understand is that the beautiful thing about this market, and by the way, let me go ahead and actually do one thing real quick. I'm going to advance this forward. I want everyone to take a look at one thing here. All right, now, if the market, okay, watch this real quickly here. And by the way, one thing that I want to do is I want to apologize. I was actually off. I actually meant to. I miscalculated a number in my head. So the 75 pips would actually be right here. That is my mistake. I do apologize. All right. So it actually should have been right here. That is the actual target. It's my fault. When I read the number, I miscalculated it in my head. But once you look at this, once again, the market advanced forward, and the market did what? It took its course, and it ultimately fulfilled the target. Right. So once again, what does that mean? That means that we are now up, okay, 75 pips, or $750 US profit. All right, and how long did it take? We did that in a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. So in 5 hours, we fulfilled our target. Not bad. Okay, how many of you would be pretty excited if you were able to do that and you were able to capture this type of profit, right? Now, the next thing I want to do is let's go ahead and kind of move on. So let's say we're done for the day. All right, we're done for the day. It's time to move on. Let's take a look at the next opportunity. So what I'm going to do is we are now going to live our life, do our thing until what? Until we have the next I'm waiting for my next 3 a.m. candle. All right, so I'm just going to continue to advance the market forward until we do, in fact, have our new 3 a.m. candle. Now, there it is, okay? So as I go ahead, I'm going to leave that right there. Let me go ahead and delete all this. Can everybody type in a Y for yes if you're with me so far? Okay. I know it's a lot of information in a very, very short amount of time, but once again, we're making the best of what we can with the time that we have. So let's take a look here. All right. Next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and show you another example here. This is the 3 a.m. candle. All right. Yes or no? Does everybody see that? 3 a.m. Right? This is the following day. All right. This was actually this week. So once again, once we have the 3 a.m. candle, what do you think we're going to do? Remember, nothing changes. We're going to do the same thing over and over and over again. So what we're going to do now, all right, is we're going to simply grab our horizontal lines, and let me just look at the time here. Okay, I think hey Travis, I got about 15 minutes, right, buddy? Just want to confirm that. All right, so once I go ahead and identify my new 3 a.m. candle, what do you think I'm going to do? All right, I'm going to do the same exact thing that I just did before. So I'm going to place my entry buy, okay, plus 10 pips above the high. So once again, let's bring that up 10 pips, and that's going to bring us to, so once again, if right here, if we're at the, everyone see that 439? That's going to bring us to right there. Now, as I go ahead and grab my ruler tool, you'll be able to basically, if you look at the number of pips on the top left-hand side, you'll see where I'm getting the 10 pips from. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drop this, same thing as before, folks. We're going to drop it minus 5 pips below. So just like before, so we're going to drop that to right there. And once again, we're good, right? So I have an entry buy. All right. I said I'm not going to type it out again, but I will. My entry buy is going to be plus 10 pips above the high. And my entry sell, once again, same thing, nothing changes, is going to be minus 5 pips below the low. Now, once I go ahead and have this all set up, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to live my life, do my thing, and I am going to simply do whatever it is I need to do until the market takes its course. Now, did the market fulfill our entry buy zone, yes or no? Does everybody see that? So once again, the market did its thing, right? It took its course, and once again, the market did what? It crossed into our entry sell. So once again, what do you think we're going to do? We are now looking to sell the market right there. First thing I'm going to do is we're going to delete our entry buy. Okay, it's no longer relevant. We're looking to sell the market. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn my entry sell into an actual market sell. Then we're going to go ahead and set up our stop, right? Our stop is going to be plus 5 pips above the 3 a.m. wick high, right? So let's bring it up 5 pips right to right there. And we're going to change this to red because, once again, that's going to signify our stop. So next thing we're going to do, who can tell me? We are going to measure our risk, correct? So we're going to go ahead and measure from here to here. Now, how many of you can tell me what is our risk? What are we looking at? We're looking at, hey, Steve, I love what Steve says, and I'm going to actually bring that up. All right, so our risk is 58 pips, so we're going after about 58 pips, right? So let's drop this down 58 pips. That's going to bring us to right here, 12315. One, 2, 3, 1, 5. All right. So once again, folks, once we go ahead and have that set up, I moved it on you. Okay, right about there. That's going to be our target, right? So let me go ahead and turn that into a green line so that we know, obviously, that's going to be our target. And now the next thing we're going to do, folks, is we are going to what? We are going to live our life, do our thing, and we know that we're going after a target of 58 pips potential, okay? So once again, living your life, doing your thing. You're going to wait for the market to take its course and take a look. Did the market, yeah, it was very, very close, very, very close, but did the market move in our favor and did the market fulfill the target, yes or no, right? So there's a second trade. We are now up, once again, up 58 pips. So let me just go ahead and put that right there. And that's going to bring us to $580 US profit, okay, in a matter of how many hours? We'll call it 3 hours. Now, because of time, folks, I want to let you know, I know that there's obviously a lot of smart people in here, and a lot of you probably have a lot of great questions, you know, and I wish I had 2 hours to just explain all the details, every little scenario, you know, what if this, what if that, but because of the time, I just wanted to give you the overall idea and concept of what we're doing here. I got about 9 minutes left, and so what I want to do is I want to just kind of minimize this and pull up another one, before I do that, I want to ask all of you a question real quick. Type in a Y for yes in the chat box if you so far find value in what I'm showing you. How many of you believe questions, but do you believe this is something you can learn? This is something you can do? And do you see why we call it a strategy to take advantage of the first higher lows of the morning? Now, somebody named Steve, basically, yeah, Jerome, we do, we're going to actually, in our privates, in our exclusive sessions we're going to be able to get you into, we're going to talk about that as far as risk, as far as, is it always a one-to-one ratio? And once again, these are a lot of great detailed questions that, you know what, if I have some time, I definitely want to bring up and talk to you. I can even chat with you personally if you'd like. Now, next thing I want to do, because I want to kind of move on, is let me just go ahead and pull up another one. And I don't know, let's just go with the pound US. Now, if we go ahead and look at the last 3 a.m. candle, let me go ahead and find that. Okay, right here. Now, this is a great, this is actually a great concept here, or a great example, because once again, all right, we're at the, this is a buy opportunity. Now, take a look. Yes or no, are we at the 3 a.m. candle? Everybody see that? 3 a.m., correct? This was actually yesterday, Friday. So once again, once we have that set up, now listen, I'm not going to get into all the details here because, once again, due to time, so I'm not going to type everything out. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place our entry buy and our entry sell, right? So plus 10 pips above. It's going to bring us to right there. And I'll go ahead and measure that. And then once again, we're going to bring this down 5 pips. It's going to be our entry sell. And it's going to take us to right here. Now, just to confirm, let me go ahead and just make sure, confirm everything. Okay, we're up 10 pips. We're down 5 pips. Now, as we advance the market forward, did we cross into the entry buy or the entry sell? This time, we crossed into the entry buy, correct? So once again, we're looking to buy the market. Now, as I advance the market forward, I want everyone to take a look at what I'm about to do. All right, I'm just going to simply advance the market forward, and I want everyone to take a look at what's about to happen. Now, I didn't get into the details of this, but I want you to take a look. If we were to set up our stop, right, our stop is going to be, now listen carefully, if we're buying the market, our stop is going to be at the 3 a.m. candlestick wick low, okay, not 5 pips below. It's going to be at the low. So that right there is, in fact, going to be our stop. Now, watch this. As I advance the market forward, you obviously know that our risk is, we're risking approximately 26 pips. Here's a great example. If we're risking 26 pips, 27 pips, how many pips are we going after? Who can tell me? We're going after 50 pips, remember? Because we're going after 50 pips minimum. Now, let me ask you all a question real quickly. Did we fulfill our target for sure? No questions asked, yes or no? We did, right? So without measuring this, we know that's about 50 pips, right? And then our target was hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours into it, we're up 50 pips, and that was yesterday, 50 pips or $500 US profit. Now, do me a favor, type in a Y for yes if this is something that you would like to learn more about. You know, if literally, folks, if you're looking at this, how many of you would like the ability to make, you know, basically in 2 mornings, we're up over, you know, over $1,500, not bad. You know, and so once again, there's a lot of details to it. I need to move on just because I don't want to get caught up with 2 more minutes left and scramble. So I want you all to know that results are the name of the game, you know, but I believe that results, if you want to know about. And so if you take a look at just some of our students, I mean, you know, Thomas from Canada, he says, I made $4,500 in my first week. Now, if you're wondering, well, how the heck did he make that much money in his first week just with that? Well, here's the thing. These aren't necessarily just the London breakout strategy. Some of them are, but not all of them are. And so the reason I'm telling you that is because one of the things we're going to do is we're going to allow you to plug into a session for a whole month, attend about 8 to 10 live sessions, so you can literally mimic our professional traders, do what they do, and some of them are like 4-hour sessions. So you're going to learn multiple strategies, you're going to learn multiple things, and this one is actually regarding the London breakout. Peter says, I did Josh's pound Aussie. It took me to the limit, just as Josh said. I didn't move my stop or fiddle with the plan. I just spot, set my stop and limit, and now this was spot on, good for 80 pips, or $800 US at a standard lot. Travis N, still long. He says up almost 700 pips. Learned a long time ago, never take profits too soon. And folks, here's the thing. How many of you, with the 5 minutes I have left, I want to ask you, how many of you would like the ability, all right, to plug in with some of our professional traders like Josh and some others, where you can literally follow them, mimic them, copy them, and walk away with some strategies that you can literally apply for life if they will honestly, literally allow you to see some pretty incredible returns. Now, I will send you guys a link to our Facebook page, and because, you know, I don't really have the time to pull all of that up right now. If I do, I will. But once again, that's, you know, you'll be able to just scroll through the news feed and just look, start at where we're at today, most current, and just go down, and you're going to look at all of our students and what they're saying and the success they're having, and then once again, that's really the name of the game. So as I move along, folks, here's what I want you to know. A lot of you are going to ask me, well, what exactly are we going to get with this exclusive session, right? If we take advantage of this with this exclusive membership. Well, I'm going to get into the details next, okay? But let me just show you how to lock and load right now, because a lot of you are asking me how to take advantage of it, and I don't want to, just talk for the next few minutes and then show you how within a second. So let me just explain to you folks that before I get into the details, that this exclusive membership typically costs $297 a month. Okay, every month, $297 to be involved, get involved, mimic their trades, copy them, and literally learn from the best of the best in the industry. Okay, now you're not going to pay that. All right, for those of you that want to get involved for literally for 30 days, we're going to allow you to do so, folks, for just $27 US. That's it. Okay, now for those of you that want, you don't have to commit to 2-3 months. You don't have to do that. Take it month to month, cancel at any time. So for your first 30 days, it's just 27 bucks. All right, now here's the thing. If you guys want to, y'all want to go ahead, lock and load, and take advantage of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send you all a link right now. I don't know if Travis already did so, but if everybody can please type in a Y for yes in the chat box, if you do in fact see the link that I just sent to each and every one of you right now. All right, just please let me know. Does everybody see the link I just sent out to everybody? All right, if you can, please, folks, can you click on that? Let me know. Just make sure the promotion is pulling up correctly. All right, just want to make sure there's no issues, no problems. Okay, good stuff. Thanks, Travis. All right, so here's the thing, folks. Not only can you get involved for just $27, but you want to laugh? Watch this. We're going to even give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. All right, so if for whatever reason within 30 days, even day 29, you're like, yeah, it's not for me. We will literally, okay, I kid you not, refund your money, all right? And I know that for 27 bucks, like, really? Yeah, we will, because we want you to find the value in this, folks. So let me go ahead and kind of wrap things up with showing you exactly what you're going to get. First thing you're going to get is 8 live market online Forex sessions per month with our analysts, okay? You're going to learn live market, online sessions. You're going to learn directly from our pros, understand how to avoid making costly mistakes. You're going to learn how past history repeats future profit potential. You're going to learn strategy after strategy after strategy after strategy, okay, to literally walk away with and apply for the rest of your life. Live Q&A sessions. You're also going to get exclusive access to the analysis they do on a weekly basis and the scenarios they're going to be looking to take advantage of for that current week. So we'll talk about the previous week, what's happening this week, and once again, it's going to include an email reminder. Everything's recorded, so you can go back and literally just watch it on your pace, at your time. And once again, that's one of the best things about it. Now, not only that, folks, but watch this. For simply getting involved today, yes, for 27 bucks, you're going to get 4 bonuses on top of all that. So bonus 1 is 30 days free of our Analyst on Demand service. This is where you're able to plug in with a professional trader every single day and literally mimic their trades. They will tell you what to do on a silver platter. They will every single day. They're going to give you it. They're going to give it to you. Say these are the pairs we're trading. Here's the analysis. Here's the time frames. This is how many pips you can expect to make. Ask them questions. Run any trade by them if you want them to analyze it with you. You're also going to get an introduction to currency trading, 4 lessons by MTI. That's bonus number 2. Bonus number 3 is a profit plan consultation call. And number 4 is a free ebook by Jared Martinez, which is literally the Jordan of our industry, 10 Keys to Successful Forex Trading ebook. All right. So once again, folks, for 30-day 100% money back guarantee. I sent the link out to everybody. So really, the question is, hey, Kay, the times are going to literally be sent to you in the email with all the details. If for whatever reason you can't attend it, they will be sent to you archived as well, buddy. And so I just want to let you know, great question, Cunningham. But once again, we'll get you all the details. And if you want, I'll chat it to you as well. Okay. So guys, I'm done. I got to wrap this up. I got about my time's basically up. But hopefully, Travis, if I could just get 30 seconds real quick, and then I'll be out of here. But once again, I'm going to send the link out. I believe everybody obviously already got it. But at this time, let me ask you, as I bring this to a close, how many of you type in a Y for yes? This is something that you want to take advantage of, you want to move forward with, just to kind of get an idea here, because we definitely got to bring the next speaker on. And I just sent out the link to everybody as well once again. All right. By the way, if anybody's having any issues with the link, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'll chat with you because I got to get off right now. But if any of you have questions, I'm gonna stay on as an organizer. I'll be more than happy to chat with you one-on-one, answer any questions you may have. Okay.